Alrighty. Hello.
Oh, is that Connie? This iPhone, but I think it's Connie. Yeah, you're on mute, but hello.
Hello.
Glad you made it. Yay.
Good.
Yeah, Connie's in Edmonton too, I think. So we're kind of all over here. We've got some Edmonton and Calgary, and I'm in Mexico and Arizona. And yeah. And I'm betting that VIP norm is Brenda. I'm was I right? Maybe. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Thank you all for coming today. I'm actually super excited for this session today because I almost never train on Microsoft Word because people go into it and they do their thing and they kind of leave and they they either love it or hate it, right? Oh, it's easy. Well, I'm going to show you some really cool things today that you might not know. Oh my goodness. I need to have a drink of something. Hang on. Got a bit of I'm not sick, but a little bit of a cough here. So hopefully I've got my water here. I'm good. Hello, Colette. Colette's about 2 blocks away from me in Mexico here. I don't believe you're actually on this call, Colette. Wow. Anyway, glad to have you all. Thank you for coming. If you have to leave early or if I'm going too fast today, please know that I will have this up on my YouTube channel a little bit later. It might not be till tomorrow, but it will be up there if you need to refer to it again. So we do these sessions once a month. Probably won't do them in the summer months. We're really doing them to get reviews. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, Yelp. Please do us a huge favor and drop us a quick line. If you didn't like the session, please let me know so that so I can fix it. And if you want some custom classes, please let me know. You all know how to get a hold of me. Yeah. And for anybody watching the recording, I'm Joanne Swensrud. There's all my contact information there. I'm at Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So I wanted to quickly just do a couple of things. I already mentioned like half the stuff already, but on my website, I have some events coming up. Let me back up. Let me go to home here. Please go in at some point and take a look at some of these little bees, the little bees. There's my YouTube right there. Tip of the day. And on the tip of the day, what's today's tip? And this is all tips from my book. Oh, this is a PowerPoint one, Shift F5. And it runs PowerPoint. Sorry. Yeah, it runs the slideshow from whatever slide you're currently on. I know we're not talking about PowerPoint today, but I try to get people excited about that. I have a book of 365 tips available on Amazon as either a paperback or on a Kindle ebook. And I'm in the process as well because a lot of people are boycotting Amazon here in Canada. So I'm in the process of having a digital copy available on my website where you just go and you download, you don't need Kindle or anything for that. So please watch for that. Yeah. Yeah, so back to the events. And by the way, that tip of the day changes every day, so you can go in there, make a note to do that. Here we are today. We've got an Outlook one that's hosted by the National Resume Writers Association, and Donna, that is on our call today, as part of that. Yeah, so if you'd like to take part in that one, please do. It's Outlook Part 2. I don't know, Donna, if they can still do Outlook Part 1, which was this week onto, I don't know, it's last week or this week. You can message me if you need to know for the recording. We've got a tax. This is mostly for Canadians, I guess. For self-employed people, it's very, very good to know what you can use as tax write-offs and bookkeeping. And this is the course that I'm really trying to get you guys excited about taking today. It starts March the 3rd. It's 4 mornings, well, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to 1 p.m. And it's I'm doing an Excel one right now, Excel Beyond the Basics. This one is Word. And in here, if you're interested in the course material today, that's why I thought that you might be interested in this one. And I do have a 50% off coupon that I'm gonna, give you in a couple of minutes, but this is just the stuff we're doing today. I don't really cover in as much detail in this class, right? And the one you're looking at on the screen right now. So this is a lot about creating a table of contents and setting up styles, and it's a very, very cool stuff that you can do it in Microsoft Word that is a little bit tougher to kind of figure out on your own, right? So advanced headers and footers, when you want to have a different header on page 1 than you do on page 2, and then a different one again on page 3, and then let's say page 4 is landscape. And Kimmy, the stuff that you and I are working on together, we do deal with that in there. So that might be something that we can chat about, and they're all recorded. And you can see here there's an early bird, but there's actually 50% off. So I think is that 87.50? I think it works out to something like that for 12 hours of training. Oh my gosh, and it's live and it's recorded. You get it for a year. So where's my PowerPoint? There's the coupon code right there, half off. So just until February 15th though. So please think about that. Okay. Now,
I have a question before
yeah.
you go. If we miss a class, we can still get the recording of it?
Yes, yeah. I send out an email with 2 things, with the recording link that you have access to for a whole year, as well as homework. So a chance for you to practice. You don't have to send the homework in and stuff like that, but it's a chance for you to practice on your own. And it's not usually the examples that we do in class. So it's like, yeah, you can do them in class. You saw how I did it, but it's more for finding out, doing it on your own. So I really, really want you to be able to do it on your own after the fact. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. So creating a newsletter in Word. This is all the stuff I want to show you today. I'm so excited about this. Some of the things are in Word already that you might not know about, something called Drawing Canvas. I'm super excited to show you about that, and page backgrounds. There's some templates that are already in here. Sometimes people don't know how many other cool things that they can put in here besides pictures. So we'll go through these things. I also want to know, and you can put it in the chat. I do say my chat. I might not refer to it later. Thank you, Brenda. Yes, she loved her daily calendar with the tip. She bought it when it was a calendar format a couple of years ago. Or maybe it was just the paperback. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for the shout out there. I want to know next for your Friday is going to be on Teams. Now, not just Teams like Zoom, like we're doing today, but Teams for sharing files. So think about somebody that you share files with all the time. And are you always emailing back and forth? If you're always emailing back and forth, you might consider setting up Teams for that. You set up a channel. So Donna does resumes for people and updates them and creates them and things like that. It might be like a repository to have it sitting there. So you could say, hey, go in and check it out. Here's the latest version of your resume. Somebody goes and picks it up, like Dropbox, kind of, but it's much better because it's integrated with the Microsoft products. So it's a lot easier to work with, and you can have external people. For those of you in larger organizations, you might already be using it. If you probably have it on your computer already, but most people just use it for video chatting, right? Or video calls and the chat, like, hey, there's somebody here to see you, or something like that. Or what are you doing? Want to go for lunch? You come to my office. But yes, I want to know if you have any ideas for the April session. So please think about that. It will be on the first Friday of March, which is probably 4 weeks from today. Yeah, so then it's probably March 7th. Yeah, it's probably March 7th because I don't think it's a leap year this year. So February and March are always they always be like that. So you can register for that. Okay. Any other questions before we get started? Okay, I am using Microsoft 365 today, but I believe for the most part, your screen should look somewhat the same. I probably have a few extra buttons, maybe, I don't know. Maybe you have extra buttons, I don't know. I have the Adobe program. Actually, I don't anymore. I should get rid of that because I don't pay for it anymore. I'm really try to do something, to do everything I can in Microsoft Word. Mostly because I teach Microsoft products for a living. So I try to just push it and push it and push it. So I want to just show you to begin with, if we go File New, and I've been playing here, top travel checklist. There is so much stuff. If you just go File New, File New. I do business cards in Microsoft Word, and then I save it as a PDF and I send it to someone to create. So we did start talking. I was kind of pushing this course as talking about newsletters. There's a few newsletters in here already, and obviously you're gonna go in and change the text. We're gonna do something like this today. It might not be exactly like that, but it's a combination of some of the things that you saw on my agenda. So for example, this one, I just picked any one. We're not going to work with it. So if you're following along, don't really worry about, oh, I don't know which one she went into. It's just kind of for demo. I can tell here that this whole thing is a table. Tables, would you have ever even thought about using a table to create something like this? Well, actually, tables are pretty good because when you put text there or pictures, they stay. And sometimes with these programs, you drag something and it doesn't stay, and it's easy to oh, I want to move this stuff over. So you just go in and where is it? There you go. You just move it over. Now there must be another one in there. Oh, it's left and right aligned. That's fine. You know, in a table cell, it's like you're in a little mini document. Okay, so, oh, I want to center that. Okay, it's not going to center in the document. It's going to center in the cell. So sometimes it's really good to do that. And this one, we'll go into pictures why it's not, like, why can't I center that? I'm clicking on it. We'll go into that. And that's going to be talking a lot about this little guy here today too. Okay, sometimes when we do a template, it looks beautiful. It might be a little bit hard to work with because we didn't create it. So it's like, I want to get rid of these dots. How do I get rid of these dots? Where is it? Do I delete it? Oh, I think I clicked on it, hit delete. Oh, yay, that worked, right? Oh, I want the dots bigger or smaller. We'll look at them. They're just kind of hanging in the background, and it got rid of all my blue. And I don't agree with some of the ways that the templates have been created. Do I use these templates? Yeah, I use some of them. Do I like them? They're okay if I don't have to do much with them. But sometimes the way that they've been created, they're kind of just floating in the underneath. And then you go to move something like some of the text or something, and you expect the stuff underneath to follow it, and it doesn't. So a little bit of homework for you. Try that some of those templates out. This gives an idea about you know, how you could use tables for that. In my Beyond the Basics course, there's a whole part that we deal with tables. So why, you know, how do we get this one down the side? How come it's so long and these ones are, you know, across here? So we take it and we split our table whatever the heck we want. Okay, so that's kind of one way of doing a newsletter, is to create one from a template. Okay, let's talk about pictures. I'm going to bring up a document, and if you want to download any of these files today, or really just this one, you can go to my website and go to the download section and download it from Word downloads. This particular one, I should just go over this because quickly, this is what we do in our classes. I have all the stuff here. When you go to find it, this particular one is called Cookie Monster Cupcake Recipe with Pictures. Go to the side of it, the left-hand side of it, and download it and open it from there. Don't just click on it. or you'll end up getting it from, you'll end up getting it opening in the web version of Microsoft Office. Okay, so I want to just show you about pictures, and all I did to get this is I went into insert pictures, right? Look at all the different stuff that we can create here. That's how we can do a table of pictures, and then within that, depending on your version, we get the different stuff. So if it's something that you've created, like a picture, maybe your logo or something like that, you can go onto this device. Maybe it's something that you downloaded from another site, because there's lots of free stuff on there. You guys realize you can go to Google and type something in and then click on images up top, and it gives you millions probably. Some of them are free and some of them are not, so just be careful. You've got all these different ones. Online pictures, it then gives you categories of pictures. So I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, beach is right there. Sorry, guys. Hey, there's a nice picture of the beach. I'm going to insert it. It defaults here to Creative Commons only, and that's supposed to be like the ones that are good for not sort of copying. Like you know, these guys are saying, yes, you can use these for free. You click on away from that, and it brings you lots more options, but you're not, I don't know if you're supposed to use it or not. You can read up on that. Oh, I'm not going to go there today. So I don't remember which one that was now. So I'm just going to go back here, grab this guy, and it brings it in. So when it brings it in, the default for bringing it in, and let's start talking about this guy here, the layout options. The default is in line with text. So it's just like I typed the word agenda, right? If I want, I can hit like enter behind it. I can hit enter above it. I'm just going to control wheel mouse my way in. It's going to be hard to see, but can you see where my cursor is right now? It's right in front, and of course I use these little guys. This guy here. I hope you're all using those when you're using Microsoft Word, so you can get an idea about what's going on in your document. So I'm clicking there, and I'm just going to hit my down arrow key, and it's super hard to see it, but I can't even see it. I'm right in front of it, but I'm in front of that picture right now. I can press enter, and I'm moving it down, right? Just like I would if I was up here and I was moving the word directions down. I can go in front of directions and I can hit enter a few times, right? So pictures and other things as we go forward will act like text if we have this option on the side called inline with text on. And that's what I'm going to really suggest if you're working in a table, if you're working in the header with a graphic picture. I'm going to recommend that you do it like that. So what are some of the other things? I'm going to click in front of it. I can center it. I can right align it. I can add spacing to it, so everything above it and below it is not touching it. Hey, that's important, right? Tons of other things that we can do. And if you go up to references, you can do things like, where is it? Insert, where is it? Caption. Where's caption? It's probably tiny on here. Where's it under? No, it's not under intro. Where's it? Caption. Do you see caption anywhere?
There it
Caption,
is.
right there. There it is. Right. So I could say, this is my beach paradise. Right. And so now those two things go together all the time. I'd select it and cut it and copy it. Or paste it or something. Those two things are going to be together for the rest of their lives, because it's a caption. So it's a little bit better than doing a little text box or something, or even just typing text underneath. And you don't have to have the word figure there, or you can have something else like image one or diagram one or something like that. Yeah. So I'm actually going to undo that caption thing, because I don't want this to be about that. That's not really what today is about. What are some of the other options there? And I'm going to zoom back out a little bit. And I want to show you, I guess I could use the cookie one too. It doesn't really matter. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do this one. Remember that it's on inline with text. And let's say on the one on the side, I want to just put it maybe over here in the middle or something. And I drag it over. I'm going to stop it from being centered. It isn't centered, but it's there. Okay. Oh, I want it up here. Oh, I want it down here. Look what it's doing. It's in a really weird spot. I don't even know why it's over there. There's no where. Oh, I do know why it's there. Because it is acting like text. It's after the word cups. It's thinking I'm just continuing typing, right? Well, that's weird that you've got this big blob there. So then we say, well, I don't like all that big blank icky space. So then we start to work with the text wrapping. And the first one is called square. And when we click on square, what it does, and we zoom out a bit again. Square says, I'm going to make room for it wherever it is. Wherever it is. Now this maybe gets you start thinking about, hey, this might look like it could be part of a newsletter, right? Put it on the side, and depending on how big it is, depends on how it's looking. Could I put it up here? Right, I can kind of put it up here. It's actually not looking too bad up here because there was kind of a white space there, wasn't there? Right, that's a pretty good use of space, isn't it? Okay. So look on the right-hand side. Be careful of that. Zoom in a bit. Careful with that because it's it might, like, whatever we do here, right? It's just going on either side of it. There was another one there called tight, and it's almost exactly the same as the square, but watch around the image when I click on it. Yeah, I didn't do anything. Sometimes it makes it a little bit closer, right? A little bit tighter. Okay. So square and tight, they will kind of work with what you've already got in there, with the text you've already got in there. If I wanted to put this up here beside the word recipe, it kind of works there too. If I want to get really close to the word recipe, it starts to interfere, right? I kind of want to leave recipe there. Thank you very much. But like it starts to interfere with what's in that part. So you can play with the other options on here. We don't have time to go through them all today, but the very last one on that little list of 6, actually 7, if you count that top one, is called in front of text. In front of text. And look what it did. There is no wrapping involved. It's like you want it there, you can have it there. You can make it as big as you want. If I were doing that when it was square, it would be moving that stuff. It would say, I don't think you want it that close, right? You can basically put it wherever you want. Just know, though, that once in a while, it might go over top of something, right? You make it too big or something, and uh-oh, it goes over top, right? But that one is really good if you want something to just stay put. So maybe I'll do wrapping on this one because I think wrapping's good. And then on the cookie, I'm going to take that cookie. I'm just going to cut it. You could paste it or paste it. Oops, that didn't cut. Maybe I'll just drag it. Zoom out, drag it over, and make it small. And it's in line with text. It looks kind of funny, doesn't it? I'm going to do the in front of text, and then it says, okay, wherever you think you want it to go. I can even put it up in that top right hand corner. Is it going to print? I don't know. Print preview and see. I can put it just about wherever I want. Okay. So that one is a really, really good one to know about. Okay. Other things like that. Okay. Other things like that. Insert shapes. So you've got a whole bunch of shapes in here. And again, we're not going to go through them all, but let's say this block arrow down here, you want to point at something. So you click on the block arrow and then you drag it and I'm just kind of dragging it down and to the right. When I let go, it's going to give me this shape. Now, guess what? The shape has the same little doodad on the right-hand side. And its default, I think, is usually the last one in front of text, which actually works really great for us right now. And what I like about that is, there's that song, Some Beach, by Blake Shelton. Yeah, Some Beach, right? You can just click on it and type. You don't have to do an additional text box or anything. So think about that if you have a newsletter and you want to point something out or whatever. But it does work just like the pictures, right? It works like the pictures, where if you wanted it to wrap, you wrap it. If you want it to behave itself and just sit there all by itself. And another thing sorry, let me finish that before I just got so excited. I'm going to put it back in line with text. A lot of times in my materials that I do screenshots, a lot of screenshots. I just want that screenshot just to be the only thing on that line. So I might do a screenshot of something, and even it might be as big as this arrow. I don't want stuff beside it, or maybe I do. It's just lovely to be able to have that option. So always watch for that option. Guess what? On tables, you even have that option. I believe you have that option on a table. Yes, you've got that just about everywhere. Okay. Anybody find anything yet that they haven't seen before? Please put in the chat. Anything you haven't seen before? Everybody seen all that stuff before? Okay, I'm gonna have to dig harder then. Okay, what I'm actually gonna do next is show you about text boxes. And I'm gonna get rid of these beauties. Maybe I'll bring them back later, I don't know. There's something called text boxes, insert text box. So we have a basic text box. And for the times where we just want to go in and type stuff, it works great, insert text box. For the other, and you can type inside of it and it works just like the pictures and things. But what's different about the text box is that you can go up to shape format and you can put a beautiful fill in. And you can put an outline around it, which might be like super thick and really nice, right? Like you can do a lot more with it. And like I said, you can move it around. And I don't use text boxes for things like just documents. If I was doing a contract or something, and at the top it says agreement. Oh my gosh, please don't do a text box for it to say agreement. You want to just go in and type, just like we did the name of our recipe up here. You just want to type. So if you want it to be able to center and bold and copy and paste and put spacing on it, don't do a text box. The text box is only to just make things like really stand out, right? Because it's not going to take on, like it's just going to ignore everything else beside it. It's not part of the text. There is a cooler text box and called the sidebar, banded sidebar, or an Austin sidebar, okay? And if you go to that one, it's a little bit funkier looking on the right-hand side. Guess what? It's got one of those things. Right now it's doing the wrap text. It's got one of those layout options. And that kind of looks like a newsletter a little bit, right? Kind of looks like a newsletter. You can click on it. And what this is, this thing that I just put in this text box, it is, let's count them. One piece is that blue bar across the top. Second piece is a text box. Third piece is another text box. And they are grouped. Those three things are grouped. So when you're doing something like this, you can go up to shape format and you can look all, at all the different things that you can do. But you can also click on each individual thing and sort of learn about it. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that this is its own little guy there. Okay. I want to change the color. Okay, we'll go and change the color then. Lots of different ways to change the color. You can change this guy. It looks like it has a lot of spacing on it because there's a lot of space there. So you can make it bigger and smaller. So this is just a little tiny text box. Move it up if you want. Make it smaller. Type into it. Lots that you can do with this. And then this one, I can just drag it up higher there. And I think it's a little too long there. Doesn't matter if it goes to the bottom, it might complain when you print. And if you want it to sort of go to the rest of that stuff, you can do that. So that's another thing that you can do with that. Any questions about that? I'm sorry, Connie, you're lost. Like I said, this was a kind of an intermediate type course. So we can chat later if you need to, or watch the recording over again. Okay, so that I wanted to show you about the text box sidebar things. I'm actually going to undo everything I've done. So I just went up to the little right, the little arrow beside the right there. Maybe I'll leave that picture because I do like that picture. I might use it. I want to show you about columns. Columns. Okay. So watch what happens to my document. Okay, it's just text and a couple pictures, right? Zoom way out. You don't really need to see it right now. Everything. I'm not even clicked or selecting. I'm clicked, just single click. I don't have anything selected. I'm going to go up to layout, and I'm going to go up to columns. I'm going to say 2. And look what happens. Now, nothing much is happening with my pictures that I can see, because you can't cut a picture in half to have it display in 2 different columns. But look at my first page. First page it's automatically in 2 columns. I could go up there and I could say, actually, can you do 3 columns? Whatever. Think about any document you have with a long list. I'm going to take that cookie. What is he? Oh, well, let's just drag him in just to see what he does. I'm going to put that cookie right here. Now zoom in a little bit more now. Right? What is it? It's inline with text. Yuck. I don't like that. What am I going to hit? Wrap text. Square. And look what it does. Kind of the same effect as before, but a little bit different because now it's in columns. What don't you like about this? How many of you are like, ugh, I don't like I think that should have just gone straight across. I'm reading all of your minds right now. That should have just went straight across. Really didn't like that to be in the column view. I don't want this to be like a sales pitch, but in the other course, we talk lots about sections. And right now, this whole section is in a 2-column format. So later in life, we want to go back to just normal at the end. Blah, 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 blah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Right, we're still in 2 columns, so we would have to work with that a little bit. We could select it and make it 1 column and stuff. But what that does is it puts it into 2 sections now. So now I have the first part of the document is in 1 section, and the second part is in another section. It puts in a section break, and we cover section notes in another course. So I'm going to get into that right now. So this is sections. What am I going to do about this guy? Well, I can do the same thing. I can take it and I could make it 1. Now I've got another section. So that's actually 3 sections in here now. What I could have done, I hate saying should. Now undo all that. What I could have done at the beginning is really think long and hard about what I want to do here. So notice what I have selected. So I don't have the cookie. I don't have the title. I have just this part selected. I'm going to go into columns and say 2 columns. So think about doing that. But I wanted to do it first the other way, because a lot of times people will come into this and they'll just go, oh, I know how to make it 2 columns. And unless you're very specific, it doesn't know that you don't want the whole thing into 2 columns or 3 columns or whatever. One more time to undo. And I want to give you an idea. You're like, well, I don't really like that. Something like this small list. Right? Maybe let's make it bullets or something like that. How can I make that? Maybe, how many do I got? There's 5 or 6. 3 on one side and 2 on the other side. Well, same kind of idea. There was that layout, columns, notice what I have selected. Do I want ingredients selected? I don't think so. 2 columns. And then it puts a section break at the begin, after ingredients, beginning of the list, and then after the last one. So that's a little bit of an idea. I think I would go in, honestly. I'm gonna 1, 2, 3 to select the whole document. It's bugging me a little bit. I'm gonna go to home and I'm gonna go to paragraph. And I'm gonna take that off because it's gonna mess me up. I'm gonna go 6 points before and 6 points after. And watch how this fixes the spacing and make sure that you're on single spacing. Watch how this fixes the spacing. No, isn't that a lot better in this document? Yeah, I think it's a lot better. It's not so squishy. And this is the exact document that we use when we're talking about that. Now this, I don't really mind it to be the single spacing on this guy actually. But for the whole document, I'm gonna go before and after 0 and 0. We do that in our level 1 class. Not running one of those, but we're doing a nice review of things like that. In the first class of that one. Because nobody ever signs up for my Word level 1 class. So I know I stopped offering it. Okay, so that is a little bit about columns. So often you'll see columns in newsletters as well. Okay, what are we going to do next? Here's an area that you may or may not know about. And it is in the layout, sorry, I lied to you, design, page borders and page color. So page borders, you can go into page borders and notice it's page, it's a whole page. It doesn't matter what you have selected. It does work by section. We can just say whole document though. And we're gonna go down here to the, well, we can just do something simple like this, like put a border on, maybe give it a little bit of thickness. Maybe that's too much, I don't know. Let's see, it's got a shadow on it. Click OK. And that just makes your document pop. Donna, do you just a quick note, do you ever do that with resumes or not? Is this a good resume thing to do or not? Just a simple border, maybe not with the shadow.
Don't like the borders.
No? Is that because
No,
of
we
the,
got, with applicant tracking software, it can be messy.
I was just
I
gonna
do
say that.
shade though, do shade, color shading.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Yeah. So maybe if you're doing like a proposal or something like that, that's a super quick way to spruce things up. Again, if you're doing a newsletter, you can do that. There are some art. There is some art that you can apply. There's some really cheesy ones. You can do a great Halloween party one there if you want, or Christmas towards the end. There are some that are a little more, you know, professional or whatever. Just, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to even just see what these things are going to look like until you do it. So know that they're there. A lot of people don't know that those page borders are there, and play with the colors. And you can even get more involved with the the top and the bottom. I want to be this nice and thick, and the other ones not as thick, or something like that. So keep an eye on that whole document thing, because it does go by section. So if you're using that column feature, then once in a while it might say this section. So you're like, hey, how come it didn't do it for page 2? Okay. So I'm actually going to get rid of those. I'm going to say none. I don't want it to interfere with the next thing. Page color. Did you know that you can just, I would never do that one, right? You can do page color. And this will print that way. Will it print that way? Pretty sure it prints that way. Do people still print? Maybe they're just making it PDF. I'm going to say no color. Well, by saying fill effects. And here's one of the things I don't know if you know about. And it might interfere. Page 2 is not going to look too great on this one. You know what I'm going to do? Here's an idea. I didn't anticipate this one. I'm going to say no color. I'm going to right click on that beach. And I'm going to say save as picture. So any of those things that we inserted this way, we can then right click and say save as picture. And then you can save it as something. I'm going to call this beach picture, whatever. I'm going to save pictures. Good. I'm just gonna delete it now. And what I should have probably done is lightened it up a bit, but I'll play with that anyway. And notice that it was landscape, and this is a portrait picture. This is a portrait document, so that might not have been the best one, but hey, it's a beach, you gotta do it. Landscape, right? How can we get that picture in the background? There's probably 3 or 4 different ways. We can go into fill effects. And we can go into picture. Fill effects picture, and we can grab that picture. Where from? From a file, from, let's do an image search here. Right, this is kind of the same thing as we did before. So I'm thinking that maybe I'm just gonna grab this apple because it might not be, not apple, Mac apple, silly. I'm thinking I kind of want a little bit more of a portrait one for this one. Insert that apple. And is that all I want to do here? Sure. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Should have went with the one that I went before. So these are a little picky, but I am going to show you how to get around that. But anyway, you can go in and you can grab one, select a picture, and I'll grab that one that I did before. I think I did one before, picture. Where's that beach? Where's the beach? There's the beach. Oh, that's yeah, I'll just grab the beach. You can kind of see that this kind of isn't my sort of my favorite. But and then again, before I hit save on that, I might have gone in and lightened it up and things like that, right? So if you want some kind of a background, this takes care of size. Did it cut part of my palm tree off? Yeah, it did. Not my favorite. Once in a while, you'll go in here and it'll be a beautiful thing, right? Just know that that's there. Fill effects, picture, and guess what? You can also do this kind of thing with shapes, like a square, like anything you grab here under insert shapes, you can grab a shape, and then when you're in shape format, you can go shape fill, and guess what we see? Picture. So you could put a picture inside a shape. Now, what's the point of that? Well, you could type on it, right? You could type on it like we did that other one, that's the arrow. You could type on it, so you could have maybe your logo and add something to it. You can actually create a logo this way. You can actually create a logo this way. I'm just going to delete that for now. I'm going to go back and I'm going to say no color. And here's how, oh, so then there's watermark. Watermark, you can do a custom watermark. And guess what? You can go picture watermark. And you can select a picture. That's another way to get something into the background. Okay. Where does it go? What does it do? It puts it into the header and footer. So I'm going to do one that I did earlier. Oh, there's my own picture. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this guy. This is actually very beautiful. I really like this one. I grabbed one and I just got that off of there. Now, I can't really see that. Can you guys see that? No, I can't see that one. It's too small, right? So what it actually did is it put it into the header area. So I'm going to go remove watermark. And you know what? You want something done right, you do it yourself. So that's a long way to get into your header. Double click at the top. Who would have thought about putting it into here? Insert pictures from this device, because it's on my computer. And try the beach if we wanted. Put all these ones on here. Let's do that really nice. And oh, there's my daughter and her now husband. There it is. It's in the back. I can, what do I need to do to it? I need to go in and say, actually, can you be in front of text? And you're like, why are you saying in front of text? Well, because it's in the header, it's going to be behind text. Anyway. So I'm going to drag it out here. I'm going to put it at the bottom. You can decide if you don't want it to be this big, then then don't put it in the header. If you just want it like in the middle of your document or something. But this makes for kind of a nice letterhead. So Christmas just passed not long ago. Maybe there was a, nice Christmas thing that you wanted in there or something. Who would have thought to put this in a header? People go and spend lots of money on fancy little templates. Get out of my header and footer there. So maybe the cookie would have made more sense to be in the background here. Make your own seasonal messages, yeah. And when we do this, let's do Control P. Let's go to page 1. And I know that, there's some, again, not my favorite one, but if you wanted to have it, right, be better, basically, you could start to go in here and do the, font colors and things like that. So that one was just kind of a fun one. And where did we get that? That was in your header and footer. So things are in your header and footer. And what I like about this too is we can go to picture format and we can go to transparency. And we can say, can you actually make that a little dimmer? Little dimmer, little dimmer. You can even go in and make it more dimmest. And then you can come out of that. And now Control P. Actually, that's not looking too bad. That looks kind of nice in the background. So you can decide what you want to do with that. Okay. So consider putting pictures like that in your header and footer, and then it doesn't interfere with anything. And if you want to have like a page number or stuff like that, you can still do that, right? Here in your footer, you can still put page space and then go up to your header and footer and say page number, current position, play number. That is the way to put a page number in. Don't do the bottom of page and stuff like that. That's you're asking for trouble that way. Okay, last thing I want to show you is the canvas. Canvas. It is the coolest thing in the world. Remember when I said you could do a logo? Okay, let's say that you wanted to, or a Zoom background. And to be honest, I might zip over to PowerPoint for that. But let's say that I have a picture. We're just going to use this cookie. And I want to put some text maybe on here on the right. Maybe I want to put some text underneath. Not a whole lot of room underneath, but that's okay. Maybe I just want it to appear underneath anyway. And cookie, I want to put it up here. If I go insert text box, I'm just going to use a simple text box on this one. Okay, well, it gives it to me down there, which I kind of don't like. And yum. Okay, kind of big, has a border. That's okay. I can get rid of the border by going up to shape format. And then this guy here, which guy was that? Let's see. Rest your mouse on it. It says text outline. Go up to there and say, actually, no outline. Doesn't go away. So it's probably the shape outline then. Shape outline, no outline. There we go. And I think this might have been where Donna was talking about with the shading. You can go in and there's a couple different places you can do it, but shape fill, just if you want to give it a little bit of pizzazz, go in and put a little bit on there. I don't know if I like that one for this. Let's do white. Let's do white. That was a white outline. Let's do white there. That will be a little more fun on top. Oh, wait. Oh my goodness. How do I get that on the cookie? Oh my goodness. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. That's the problem. So how'd you guys like that little segue into, yes, you can crop a photo in Word for sure. Anything that you see, where's my beach? What are you trying to take out of my beautiful beach picture? I don't know, I lost the beach. Oh, because I was going to put it in as a background. So any kind of picture you have, whether it's an actual image or a clip art type thing, you can click on. You've got the cropping tool on the side. So if I just wanted to scooch it, oops, go to the side. No, hang on. You have to grab the black, that black thing there. and drag it. It's gotta be the black thing. If you go by the white arrow, that's making it bigger and smaller. Undo. So yeah, you can crop it, and you can actually go in and crop it to a certain shape. And this, play around with that, because sometimes it looks good, sometimes it looks just silly. Like if we had done it with each picture, I'm not sure how that would have looked. Okay, and you can also reset it back to how it was, so it's like, actually, I don't like it that way without undo. Oh man, you have picture styles in here, you can put all sorts of things behind it, so that looks good, looks pretty cool. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go in, and I wanna know if anyone has ever seen Insert Shapes new drawing canvas. Tell me if you've ever done that. So it's just on a blank line. And I'm gonna go new drawing canvas. And you guys, this is like a little canvas, drawing canvas. How many of you are artistes? You can go in here and you can do all that stuff that we were just doing, but it stays. It stays where you want it, where it stays.
Where did you
So-
find that?
Insert shape
Yeah.
and then new drawing canvas.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So now when you do stuff, you can put in a little shape here, and you can draw a shape, and look at, you can move it around within the canvas and move it around. Do all the things that you could before. Insert shape, you can draw an arrow from here to here. You could put a picture, maybe I'm gonna go grab that cookie, so I have to jump out. I'm gonna grab the cookie, I'm gonna cut the cookie. And I'm gonna double click to get back. I think it was even just a single click. I'm in my canvas, you see the outside of it there. I'm gonna paste. It's huge, and I go to the side. Oops, that's making my canvas bigger. Sometimes you have to kind of click and drag to see what you're working with here. There's my cookie. There's my shape. Isn't this cool? My cookie, need to make it smaller. Kind of threw me off for a minute because it had that big border on it. So you can move things around, and then there's your arrow. You can actually say, can you do the arrow? You know, can you put the arrow? Go this corner here. Drop from here. When you drag it up there, it says, which point do you want it to connect to? So this, we do this in PowerPoint. PowerPoint's another one that I just about never do because people think they don't need PowerPoint training. Well, you can attach it to one of these dots. Let's not be on a dot. There. Now I'm on the dot. So when you do things like drag an arrow over, you tell it which part of it. Now it doesn't make sense to be on that dot on the side anymore if I want it on the other side. So I could readjust my arrow there. So you can move it around, you can do more text boxes, you can click and type, want a great snack. Okay, there's my text box. Again, you can go in and add just about anything in here. I think you wouldn't add like a table or anything like that. But when you're done, you click out of it, and it is the graphic. It's the graphic. So now it's the one that you can wrap. It's the one that you can do the in front of text or whatever. It's the one that you can right click on. Select it. Hang on, get out of there. Right click. I'm gonna go off of it for a minute. Right click. Get away. And save as picture. I don't know why it's not doing it right now. But you can right click, there we go. Right click, I guess I had to be on one of the lines around the outside, and you can save that as a picture. So you could basically create a logo if you wanted. Or what if there was a diagram that you're using all the time? You're doing a newsletter, and at the top it has what they used to call a masthead. I used to be in design like years ago. I'm not good at it now. So please don't ask me to, Kimmy, don't ask me to help designing your stuff. That's why I was saying, no, I'm only good at the other stuff. But maybe you have some kind of nice fancy border, you know, in your header, right? And then, I don't know, I shouldn't do that because I wouldn't do a canvas in my header and footer, but I would do a nice canvas here. And then it's just a um, a graphic, right? It's just like a graphic. So I can have it up here. And yeah, so I hope you got some ideas there. Now, when I go to my canvas and I go right click on one of those sides, I've got other types of stuff, format the drawing canvas. Here, fit and expand. So fit it, notice the canvas is a little bit too big. So fit, right click. Let's think there's something down there. What did I say, fit or expand? Oh, I hit expand. It must think that there's something in there still. Well, you can just drag it. That's usually what I do. I just drag it. So this part kind of reminds me of Canva. And some of you, how many of you use Canva? There is a free version of Canva. I love it. I'm never going to say never use Canva. It's a great program. But if you're already paying for Microsoft products, then you might decide that this is just as good, right? This is just as good. Do that and have it on the corner, right? I don't know what happened to my arrow. Drag her around. And that's that. If you like that, right click, save as picture. And then you can stick that somewhere. Stick it in your head or stick it in your footer, something like that. If it's not that complex, then that's a little bit extra work. Yeah. The canvas is something that, had any of you seen that before? Now you can go off and Google it if you want to do a whole bunch more training on that. And on my YouTube channel, I'll throw this on there because I know I don't. But I'll throw that up on there, and on my YouTube channel has tons of other types of there it is, notesooner.com. And it's got, please subscribe. I have 58 subscribers. I've got some playlists on there. I hope this looks the same for you. And golden nuggets. So golden nuggets, there's the free Fridays. This is where this session will come up. Looks like I did a name that tune a while ago. Oh, interesting. Well, that shows up when I do that. So then you can go in and, oh, shush, be quiet. Oh my goodness. You know how you hate seeing yourself on screen? But yeah, so golden nuggets, go in there and watch some of these. In it, I put little random stuff on there. And I do believe that I put one about the canvas on here. I can't remember, it's been a long time. I started with it, well, that was only 4 months ago. Oh, I just uploaded them 4 months ago, but yeah, a lot of them are big, or sorry, for a long time ago. So take a look at those. Again, there, some of it is stuff that I don't always cover in my classes. So, and they're all for free. They're trying to make you say, wow, I wish I'd known that sooner. And I'm going to rush to Joanne's website right now and sign up for some courses. I don't have any Excel courses running right available right now for sign up because I just finished the Excel level 1 last week, and the Excel Beyond the Basics is in progress right now. But if I have interest in them, then I'll throw them on, right? I need like 3 people because I don't really particularly like doing classes with only like 2 people or 1 person. It's okay. I love it. It's a great experience, but it helps. It helps Joanne's mortgage payments a little bit more if I have a few more people. So I'd love to hear from you. Any questions? I know we're 1 minute past the hour here. Any questions? If you liked it, please go in and give me a review.
Will do.
And some ideas. Email me later. Give me some ideas for some sessions for next time. Anybody have anything else? I got through all my list. I don't believe it. Holy smokes. I'm gonna stop
Thank
recording.
you.
Thanks for coming, Mel. Hopefully we'll see you all next time.